This is the ultimate beginner's guide to watercolor if you've never done it before. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are starting with our brushes, and I am going to be using the Quill mop brush for this practice. It is my go-to brush. I use it all the time, and if you have one brush, this one's it. And to really tell, it's kind of fat in the middle like you see here. And the number one thing to try to start off with, I do this in my Watercolor 101, is to just practice this technique of mastering the entire watercolor brush head. So I am starting with the very tip of the brush to use the finer point, and then I press down as I go along to make it wider, and then I lift it again to get back to that tip, and then I repeat the steps and I press back down again. And I have to tell you that it looks probably silly, but from all the classes I teach, and I teach probably at least 2 in-person classes a week to adults, I would say this is the thing I see the most from anyone trying watercolor from the first time, and it is this not using the entire brush head. It is really a beautiful thing. I have people all the time saying, can I have a different brush? Can I use a smaller brush? Can I use a bigger brush? But with the right brush, like a mop quill, you can truly just use that one brush. And you'll see in a lot of my videos as you continue this journey that I do actually pretty much stick to one brush through the whole painting. Sometimes I'll switch off to a really fine brush or something a little bit stiffer if I need it. But one brush should take you pretty far. So you practice this, and then you also try to trick yourself into making those gaps fill in each other. So it really helps you with control. The other thing you can do is see how thin you can get that line, and then see if you can control the thickness by pressing down on it. You can see I am using one single brush for this entire thing, and I am getting a nice variation in width of line. The other thing with watercolor that you don't get with other paints so much is being able to create this depth and color in just one brush stroke. And to do this, you want your brush to be fairly wet. And so you go heavy with the paint right off, and then you fade out to a lighter color. And we are flying through this, so pause it if you need to. So the other thing I get from people commonly is, I just bought a new watercolor set and I have no idea. I'm so intimidated. I don't know where to start. So my suggestion is to just play with the colors, get comfortable with them. And the way to do that is to create a swatch. There's a few ways to do this, of course, and there's a lot of videos and things online to show you. But here's my favorite way, is to create this little graph. And as I am creating the pure colors, so in this case the turquoise blue, as the 2 points from the left and the right meet, that means it's a turquoise blue. I'm doing what's called the wet on wet technique. So I'm putting down water first, and then I'm adding the color to one corner. That means the concentration of color is going to be mostly in this corner, but as you can see, it bleeds out into that water splotch. That's hard to say. And as it does that, it fades in color. So you get to see kind of the nice variation that one single paint color can do. Then on the left side, I am pre-mixing my colors. So this is the left side. I mix the 2 colors together. On the right side, I am putting the color down layers by layer. So violet first, and then I am adding the turquoise blue on top. And I love seeing my students do this for the first time, because they're always just so amazed by how different their colors are just from either pre-mixing it on your palette, which is what I'm doing on the left, or layering it in on the right side. It is just so crazy how some of these colors can be so different from each other. Some of them have a light variation like the violet and turquoise, but some of them are just so vastly different. And I love seeing their reactions, because they're just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how many colors I can make from just 4 separate colors. And it is so true. I mean, you can do a lot with just a couple of colors. That's why I always tell people just get one or two good. I use liquid watercolors. Get one or two really good liquid watercolor colors. Payne's Gray is usually one I suggest, and go from there. And this is just a continuation of what you can do with variation in water. So this first one is wet on wet, which again is wet on the paper first, and then adding paint to it. And then you get what's called wet on dry, which is basically the paper is dry and you add the paint to it. But within that, you can also change up how much paint and water you have, because your brush is going to be wet, but also you're going to be watering down your colors as well. So if your paint is not very wet, then there's going to be a lot more concentration of color, and vice versa. If you have more water to your paint, it's going to be a lot lighter. So you can see just from changing wet on wet, as well as the amount of water that I'm using in my paints, which is a lot easier to do with liquid watercolors. You can really see that there's a difference in color. Now take everything you just learned and do your final last exercise in making this little leaf stem. So hopefully this really quick exercise helped you get started and you are ready to dive in.